Hey Nerfers, my name is Jay, and I have to apologize. It's been a while. The end of the semester has been really hectic, but I managed to squeeze in another interview for this week, and I am interviewing Rob from the Southern Brisbane Nerf Club. Rob is from Australia. Say hello, Rob. The end of the semester.
Hi, Rob.
Really hectic. How you doing?
Tired. It is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I got to thank you for making the time to do this, because time zones are awful, and it sucks trying to go from Western New York to Southern Brisbane, Australia, and make it work. But we made it work, so I got to thank you for that.
Yeah, for those watching at home, including daylight savings in New York right now, there is a 15-hour time difference.
So it's currently 2 p.m. here, and it's, what, 5 a.m. there the next day?
Yes.
So yeah, it's tough to work around, but we got it to happen. So yeah, so we're gonna just kick things right off and just dive into the questions. So let's hear the SBNC origin story. How did you first get into Nerf and into modifying blasters?
Okay, so we have like a fair or a show here in Brisbane called the Echo, which is short for exhibition. Went to that, and I got a show bag with all these super cheap toys in it, and one of them was this dart gun. It was spring powered. You push the dart in, it's got a little suction cap with the plastic stalk, those ones.
Yeah,
like 50 cents worth of plastic in them. And I got it home, I pulled the trigger, and it didn't even shoot across the room. So I thought, that's not going to do. How do I make it better? I opened it up, I stretched the spring, put it back together, and that improved the performance a little bit. And I thought, okay, this is slightly better. But with all spring stretches, it eventually went back to normal. But
yeah,
that would be the first time I actually modded anything at all. And then that was it. And then a couple of years later, well, many years later, N-Strike came out in Australia, and I was probably in my teens then, late teens, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, it would have been my early 20s actually. Picked myself up a Raider. That was the first thing my first blaster I ever owned, the Raider.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I really did. Derped around with that for a while, didn't really modify it, and then I discovered video games, and Nerf kind of went out the window. And I really don't know what happened to the Raider. I do remember the drum working fine. In hindsight, I probably would have kept it, but hindsight's a bitch like that. So video games was it for a very long time. Then girlfriend, which later became wife, then kids, then house, then a whole lot of other stuff happened. And then it would be 1, 2, 3 years ago now. There was a Secret Santa when I was working at IBM, and one fella ended up getting a strong arm and a fire strike, and then a whole lot of other people got jolts. And somehow they migrated to my desk. I didn't get any Nerf blasters from the Secret Santa, but they all ended up on my desk when the novelty wore off for other people. So I decided to take them home, look up modifying them, and then the bug bit again, but this time it bit super hard. And so I bought a Rampage, and then I bought some other stuff as well, and now I've got it's like 70 blasters.
Oh man, you're blowing me out of the water with the amount of blasters that you have.
Not all of them are in one piece at the moment. A lot of them are projects that are works in progress perpetually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so 70 odd blasters. There's YouTube, there's the blog, there's Facebook as well, and yeah, that's it's almost been 3 years now.
And how many subscribers are you at now on your channel?
Last time I checked, it was just short of 18,000, which is amazing.
Wow.
I never thought I'd ever get that many.
That's crazy.
It's been a really short amount of time too, which is amazing.
Yeah, you definitely shot up there in terms of subscribership. You really exploded. I mean, and it all speaks to the quality of your content. So I
Well,
mean, yeah, congrats on that.
yeah, thanks. And what's funny is it took a year to get 1,000 subscribers, and then the 1 year after that, I got 9,000.
Wow.
And then between 10,000, which was about 6 months ago, and now I'm up almost another 10,000. So after I hit 1,000 subscribers, it kind of snowballed out of control.
Yeah, well, because everyone tells everyone else, they start sharing your stuff, and it all spirals out of control from there. So
yeah, there's that, and about when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I changed the way I edit videos as well. I put more effort into it, which would contribute to the increase in subscribers. But yeah, if any one of those 18,000 are watching right now, thank you a lot. It means a real lot to me.
Nice. So it's been a couple years now, and you've done a lot of mods. What would you say is the mod that you're the most proud of?
I have it with me right here. This guy.
Good.
Double tap. Hi. I'm most proud of that simply because it came together. Well, it came together slowly, but it also came together really well. There's no real write-up for anything like that, so I took my time with it, and it took 6 weeks to make.
Wow.
That's just all of my spare time, but I make my spare time. So after the kids go to bed at about 8 o'clock, I was up until 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning working on that. And that took 6 weeks from first screw out to last screw in.
Wow.
Yeah.
and it's 2 rapid strikes integrated into a Centurion stock, correct?
Yeah. So there's the 2 rapid strikes up front. Hold on. There we go. 2 rapid strikes up front. Centurion stock integrated into the one handle. So, ta-da.
Yeah.
And both rapid strikes work off of the one trigger, and you can choose whether you want to fire both rapid strikes, or with the switches here, you can choose to fire the left or the right.
God, that's probably one of the cleanest integrations I've ever seen. It's just that, like, it's just so good. It's I'm geeking out a little over here over it.
I'm hoping one day you'll get to meet it in person. Well,
I would love to see it in person eventually. That would be nice.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, that blaster, and I'll tell you why. Every time I go to HVZ, I'm going to say Z for the American viewers.
Yeah. Instead of Z.
Yeah. A whole lot of kids play as well, and we're talking like 9 to 12. And I've got a reverse loading 35 drums. So I've got 70 shots on tap. So I'm there with double tap with 70 shots, and the kids they all know me from YouTube, and so they all hide behind me, which I'm totally okay with as long as they watch my back. I tell them, mate, I've got the front, you just watch my back. And they don't watch my back, and then I get tagged.
Yep. Just goes to show you can't trust kids.
Don't work with kids.
Yeah.
No, it's great though. I mean, they watch me on YouTube, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, it's kind of cool to have them go, "You're from YouTube." Yes, I'm from YouTube.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's
kind of cool.
Happened a few times to me actually. Or if I have kids who see my mods and they're like, "Do you do stuff on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they go, "What's your channel? I want to check you out." So that's pretty neat, for sure. Moving on. What is the mod that you hate doing the most?
Hate doing, or the one single mod that I have done that I hated the most?
Either one.
Okay. Stampedes, I really don't like working on stampedes, simply because there are 4 billion screws to take out, and I don't have an electric screwdriver, which is the next on my to-buy list.
Yeah.
Which should cut down the unscrewing time to about a week. they're an awesome blaster to hold and use, but to modify if anything goes wrong. What else? Oh yes, the single mod that is unique to me that I probably hated doing the most was this, because it just took so damn. It just took so damn long, and by about a month into it, I was over it and I just wanted it out of my life.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. All right, out of all the stock blasters, what would you say is the worst blaster that you could possibly buy?
That's a good question because there's so many.
I don't really disagree with you on that one. There are definitely stock blasters that are bad.
I'll give you the short list of the do not buy list. There's there's the base ones. There's the recon and the deploy. If you have a chance to buy those even secondhand, don't, unless you're planning to do something fancy with the internals. I've seen people put retaliator internals into a recon. If you're going to buy a recon to do that with it, go ahead. But if you're going to buy it to mod it, but keep it reverse plunger, then no, it's better off as a doorstop. Yeah,
it's just not worth it.
Deploy, just avoid at all costs. There's the Jolt. If you've seen my Jolt mod guide,
I love that video. That was a great video.
Oh, so much butthurt over that.
Why do you? Why would you get upset over that? Like, I don't get it.
Look, this is what people need to understand. It's not the Jolt I hate. It's what Hasbro are doing with it.
Yep.
Reshells, recolors, they just won't let it die.
It's the same thing with bows. I hate any sort of bow revamp. Jolt revamps and bow revamps are just the bane of my existence. They make me so mad.
Oh, that you bring up a good point. The Zombie Strike crossbow.
Yep.
Crossfire crossbow. Don't buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first to review the Zombielands Persuader. Not Zombielands. Doomlens Persuader. Don't buy that either. Yeah, don't buy that either.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Doomlands line later, actually. But so what would you say would be the best stock blaster?
Best stock blaster. Oh.
Or you could look at it in terms of the best platform for modding.
Best platform for modding, long shot. The internals are very simple. You can get really good gains out of just a spring upgrade. It's if you're going to start modding, use like something simple like a Fire Strike or a long shot. I mean, the internals are basically the same.
Yeah.
They're very simple, and yeah, I would say the long shot. I mean, it's a cliche answer, but it's true.
All right, I'll give that to you. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the new lines now. What are your thoughts on the Rival line?
I like it.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, it's a. We had Dart Tag for a while, and that was targeted at the dude bro audience. If you ever looked at one of the promo photos on the back, where you had all the dude bros and the token black guy wearing the shirts and the glasses and stuff, sitting on barrels, and that was a very dude bro photo.
Yeah.
We kind of need something targeted at the older teen audience, something that does hit a little bit harder.
Yeah,
I have had a muck around with the Apollo and the Zeus, and I like them. I really do.
Yeah, I've been seeing what I don't know if you've seen Out of Darts. You've probably seen the absurd amount of balls he can fit into like various contraptions. It's just like that's the kind of stuff that really appeals to me because it's just so overkill, and I love overkill. Anything that spews like 270 rounds in like 30 seconds is something that I love because it's just like it's supposed to be a toy, and you're just making it so much more than that, and it's great.
Yes.
So I love that.
Oh man, that guy.
He actually, in one of his more recent mods, he replaced like the door or the trigger pull with like a solenoid thing, so it electronically actuates, letting the balls come through, and it's like such a small trigger pull that he touches it and it just brr, brr, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it makes the best noise too when you do full auto and a Zeus.
So crazy. It's like there's so much intimidation in that. And I'm a huge believer in the intimidation factor of things. So, little side note, I'm actually going to be, this is for the viewers, I'm actually going to be interviewing Out of Darts eventually once we get a time figured out. We're both very busy. So we've had to postpone the interview with him for a while, but hopefully in the next week or so, I will be able to interview him on Know Your Modder. So yeah, so there's a little tidbit for people tuning in right now and people watching.
His channel shot up as well.
Yeah, he popped up. That's the craziest thing, is that he popped up out of nowhere with really high quality videos, really good content, and really good mods, and just exploded. He's already got more subscribers than me, and he's been in the game for probably a few months now, and he's really creative. I think that's the cool thing about him, is that he has these really, really creative ideas, and he knows how to go about them. So there's an appeal in that.
I was about to say, I'm actually in the kitchen, which is below my kids' bedrooms, and I can hear footsteps, so I might be briefly interrupted.
That's okay. That's okay. The unexpected is always fun in these interviews. So moving on to the Doomlens line, what are your thoughts on that?
It'd be good if we saw something original. Basically, so far we've just had a different colored version of the Rebel Heartbreaker bow. No, not the Heartbreaker bow. What's the pump action bow one? The Rebel what's that one called again?
Oh,
Guardian. The Guardian crossbow.
The Guardian, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. The internals are exactly the same. The Lawbringer is a 12 dart hammer shot.
Yeah.
12 or 10?
I think it's 12.
I think it's 12, yeah. It's a 12 dart hammer shot, which does appeal to me, but you can't holster it really.
Yeah.
And a 12 dart hammer action as a primary, I don't think works that well. I mean, you could dual wield them and look badass, but in terms of practicality, I really don't see how it would work out too well. Although it will make you a lot more careful with your shots.
Yeah.
And the Persuader is just bad.
Yeah, I saw your review on that, and it was just like tiny and uncomfortable and not very.
Yeah. So I would like to see something original, something clever come from Doomlands, and we just haven't seen it yet. Every time I see the Lawbringer in the stores, like I want it,
yeah,
but I can't justify buying it, so I just turn around and walk away.
That's what I do. That's what I do with a lot of Nerf stuff. I go, that would be fun to review. I don't have the money.
Yeah.
It's been bad. I've been really slacking on reviewing stuff because I just haven't had the money. So yeah. That's my excuse, and I'm going with it.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So moving on. What other kinds of stuff do you do besides Nerf? What are your other hobbies?
Oh, I like doing things with my hands, which is going to sound dirty, but I don't mean it in that context. So I love building model aircraft. The really tiny little pieces you got to hold in place with tweezers, painting them, getting them looking just right. I like building model aircraft. I haven't done it for a long time. It's something that I would definitely get back into as soon as I retire, because it does kind of sound like an old man hobby, but I've been doing it since I was 12. I've been doing it since I was 12, and it's something that I'd really like to get into again. Electronics. I prefer to modify electronic blasters because I just like electronics.
Mm-hmm.
I like soldering. I like putting everything together, and it sounds weird, but yeah, I do enjoy electronics. Cakes, which sounds weird, but I don't mind making a cake and decorating it. I've done it a lot of times now, and I'm actually not crap at it.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures you posted on Facebook a while back, and I'm like, man, you're pretty good. Better than what I could do. I don't even know if I could make a cake. I gotta apologize real quick. The internet's not doing so hot at the moment. Hopefully it gets better. It's a little laggy, at least on my end. I don't know how things are for you.
Yeah, it may not be you. It might be me.
Okay, yeah, we were actually talking about this before the broadcast started. That Australia's internet is actually quite bad. They're still on copper wire, and yeah, it's not very good.
It's a shame we have to live with, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
now it's catching up, I think, a little bit, maybe.
There we go. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's those hobbies. What else? Video editing, which isn't a hobby, always been a hobby of mine, but since I started on YouTube, I actually quite enjoy video editing, and I always try to see what new effects or sound effects or techniques I can use to make my videos more interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as external hobbies go.
Nice. All right, so you kind of answered this a little while ago, but you've run into a few subscribers in real life. Have you ever run into anyone that was just like out of nowhere, like, holy crap, you're Rob from SBNC, like, how are you? What's going on?
Yes, and believe it or not, this is before I even hit 1,000 subscribers. This is when I was on about 700.
Wow.
I was at, yeah, so the odds were even lower.
Yeah.
I was at so you guys have got Walmart over here. Our equivalent would be Big W.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at Big W in the toy section checking out the Nerf stuff, and one guy, he's there as well, and then he looks at me and goes, "You're on YouTube." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm subscribed to you." Oh, cool. So we started talking, and yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. Like, he was probably just a few years younger than me, so it wasn't even a kid; it was an adult.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, we just started talking about stuff, and just about YouTube, and just about Nerf and how he got into it. So the way he got into it was he saw how much fun his kids were having, so he picked one up for himself and started shooting them with it. And yeah, that's how the bug bit for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's weird. Since then, I have not actually ran into any of my subscribers out of the blue. I always run into them at events and stuff, which is kind of expected.
Yeah, which I consider that as not counting, because it's like, of course you're going to run into them there because you're all there for the same thing.
Yeah, to shoot each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's always good to meet a fan. It's always the kids that give you the best response. Like, "I watch you on YouTube. You're awesome." They always think you're the best.
Yeah.
And they'll probably say that about anyone they meet on YouTube. Like, "It's me, I'm the best." But if they run into, say, Bubbalolo, then they go say, "Oh, you're the best."
Yeah.
But for that brief moment, I'm the best, and I'm okay with that.
You gotta settle for what you get, I guess.
Take what you can get.
Exactly. So we know that the NIC is a huge community, and it has its quirks. So what would you say is your favorite part of the NAIC, especially as a moderator for some of the Facebook groups that are out there?
Two. There's a Brisbane Area Nerf group and Nerf Modders Welcome, which is about 6,000 members now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really Yeah, there was only about 2,000 when I joined. So yeah, that's really exploded recently.
Mm-hmm.
What I enjoy is helping the new guys out. That's probably the father figure in me coming out is just helping the new guys out.
I believe it.
And the creativity. I'm not going to say every day or every week, but it's usually about once a month when someone does something either cosmetically with paint or something, mechanical with or electronic with mods and modding the internals and stuff that just makes me go, wow,
Yeah.
I've never thought of that before.
Yep.
And that is what I enjoy, is just seeing something new. Like and Bobo touched on this when you interviewed him, but that guy from New Zealand, by the way, Bobo, New Zealand, Dwayne Stanley, his paintwork is just holy crap. Wow. I've seen some of his work in person too. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember if I've seen any of his work before. I probably have. I just can't pinpoint it at the moment.
He's on Instagram. Iron Frankenzilla.
Oh,
he's got I think it's a long shot, and he's got a skull on the front with like a red cybernetic eye, and the skull is made.
I know exactly who you're talking about now. Yeah, his stuff is out of this world. I honestly think if you're talking about the guy I'm thinking of, I think I actually featured him on my blog a while back. That long shot.
That skull is made out of epoxy putty that he molded and sanded.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's not from like a toy or anything.
That's crazy.
That shows dedication and devotion.
That really
right
does. Like, that's some next level craftsmanship.
Yeah, but that guy, like his paintwork is always amazing. And Out of Darts, what that guy did with the mechanics of the Zeus, that blew me away. And it made me a 10-year-old kid watching it, giggling.
Oh, I giggled like a fool watching that. I was like, this is gratuitous, and I love it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, you said you love Overkill. I love Overkill too. I mean, Double Tap will get about 1,200 darts a minute. I'm kind of cheating because I've got two modded rapid strikes side by side, but it's still 1,200 darts a minute.
That's just unnecessary, but it's so great.
It is good for clearing a room or a hall.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so out of all the NIC, what is your least favorite part of the NIC?
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I knew my answer straight away. I cannot stand elitism or elitism. I just can't. I can't stand it. Granted that.
So like the holier than thou.
Granted, there are right. Yes, there's that. It's like, I've been doing this for longer, so I know more. Well, people are doing mods that you've never thought of, so you don't know everything. Be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there are some ways. Granted, there are some things which there definitely is a right and a wrong way. For example, soldering, there is a right way and there is a wrong way.
Yeah.
Using glues, there are right glues and there are wrong glues.
Mm-hmm.
But cosmetic modding is whatever you want to do, really. And if at the end the blaster is doing what you wanted it to do, then there really isn't a wrong way. So when you're saying that your method of doing something is right, when it's just your preferred method, not necessarily textbook correct, just, shut up.
Yeah. Get over yourself. You're playing with kids' toys.
Yeah. If you're not having fun mucking around with plastic toy guns, then you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right, so elitism. Yeah. I agree with you there. I can be like that sometimes, but it's mostly just to troll people. I tend to troll a lot on those groups. It's pretty fun, not gonna lie.
It's always good when you see someone go, "Oh, what blaster should I buy?" And it's deploy.
Yep, that's me. I always say deploy. I'm always the one who says deploy. That's always me. I'm gonna own up to it right now. That's me.
So don't go by any advice Jay gives you, guys.
Yeah. I'm not to be trusted. All right. So, out of all the videos that you've created, what would you say is your favorite video?
It's always fun doing the war promos, and I try to wind in some jokes in there. The most recent one, not the most recent one, the second most recent one I did. It's just got me spamming darts all over the house, and then then it cuts to a shot of me picking up all these darts off the floor, and then my voiceover goes, "Tired of playing with yourself?" So I try to tie in jokes like that.
Yeah.
And they're just really fun to edit, and I like trying to find the right type of music to match the video content. So those are my favorite videos to make, usually because they're very short. Reviews, my reviews can kind of be long-winded, so I try to cut those down now as much as possible. They require more editing, so they're less fun to make. Mod guides are hard to film because you do one bit, film, do another bit, film, and it just adds to filming time. So the favorite videos for me to make are war promos.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What advice would you give to people who are just starting out on YouTube?
Do your own thing and make videos. That's basically it. And keep a regular upload schedule. You will find that you will attract more subscribers if you do things bi-weekly or just weekly. If people know there is a regular upload schedule, then they will subscribe. What else? Yeah, just do your thing. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Coop. Don't try to be Drac or Bobo. Do it the way you would do it naturally.
Yeah, and that was my thing for a little while. Is I actually tried to copy Drac's style of video, and then I realized, nah, I'm better off doing things the way I would normally do them. Why do I need to hide my face? I don't need to do that. It's stupid.
If you look at my early stuff, and please don't, for the love of all things that are good, don't. I tried to emulate Drac's video style where he doesn't show his face. The sole purpose of that being is because I didn't want people to know I was a grown man playing with toy guns. But then it got to the point where I thought, this is just too hard. Screw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And put effort into editing. Don't just record and upload. Edit at least a little bit, because it just makes the content that bit better, and people will want to subscribe if your content is good.
Yes, exactly. The editing makes such a difference. And my biggest issue right now is the upload schedule. I haven't been able to keep a constant schedule for multiple reasons. The first of which being I don't have the disposable income to afford new stuff every week. And the second reason being that I don't have the time, especially with finals and all the stuff I have to do for school. So, yeah, sorry to my viewers. I apologize for my sporadic upload schedule.
Yeah, well, you don't need to buy new stuff every week. Like some of my videos that I make, it's just an old blaster that I just try to do something different with and show people how I do that. Like I made a video about making a 18-dart mag belt-mounted holster out of a liquid soap bottle, and people are using that. Beg your pardon?
I didn't see that one yet.
Well, yeah, it's a plastic hand soap refill bottle, and it holds two 18-dart mags very tightly, and it holds them really well. And people are turning up to Nerf Wars that I host and other guys in Brisbane host with that on their belt.
That's crazy.
In fact, one guy uses a 1 liter juice bottle, and it holds 3 of them really well. So yeah, it doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to work.
Yeah. So we'll skip down a bit. How would you describe the Southern Brisbane Nerf Club scene? Like, what is it like?
We have got a very wide demographic, so I would say varied. Uh, our most recent war was the end of year war, and that was a collaboration between myself, Southern Brisbane Nerf Club, and there was one of my mates, Liam, who
Yeah.
you can find on Instagram, Liam's Nerf Mods. There you go. I plugged you, Liam. Um, Liam's Nerf Mods on Instagram. He's top brass for Brisbane Nerf Group, and another guy, Ricky, who runs HVZ BNE, which is HV Humans vs Zombies Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
He organises all of the Humans vs Zombies games. And then there was another guy, Josh, who's kind of like the wise old sage of Nerf in Brisbane, because he's been around probably the longest. And us, the four of us, we organised this giant end of year war. And at the most, we had 64 people.
That's a lot, actually.
It it was almost unmanageable, but we got through it. And there's kids as young as 5. There's an old guy. He's I don't know how old he is, but he's got to be at least in his 50s, running around with a hammer shot. There was a couple of the mums like to join in as well, like the mums. Thank you, mums, for bringing your kids to the Nerf wars. Some of the mums like to join in as well. There's a couple girlfriends join in as well. There's kids and adults just all having fun together. So I'd say that it's a very varied demographic, and it's all fun.
That's awesome.
We're just all a bunch of weird people playing with toy guns that just love to have fun. So if I had to describe the Brisbane Nerf scene in general, it'd be fun.
Nice. That's all you can really hope for.
Yeah.
So what's it like? You know, you're a father yourself. You've got 2 kids. What's it like being a father and being involved in the Nerf community?
I'll be honest, it's tough, because as a father having a full-time job, you don't get a lot of spare time to devote to the Nerf community. So I make spare time, which is why I often go to bed at stupid o'clock in the morning. Look, you can tell too. Like all of my videos, I usually record them at night, and if you ever see a clock when I do the kitchen clock when I do an indoor firing test, it's usually after 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's hard to come by time, but it's manageable. And my son, he's 9, and he loves going to Nerf wars on occasion. Like he wanted to go to the end of year war,
yeah,
but I said no, because we all got sunburnt, and I didn't want my son getting sunburnt.
That's probably a good reason, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, too, he's only 9. He runs around a lot. He puts a lot of effort into it, especially capture the flag. He loves capture the flag.
Yeah.
And he'd have gotten tired, and he'd have had to sit out, and I'd have had to sit out to watch him as well. Mm-hmm. Or if I'd kept playing, he would have been fine on his own, but he would have gotten bored.
Yeah.
So just sunburn and getting bored, I thought it would probably be best if he didn't come along.
Probably good choice.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it when he does come along.
Nice. All right, so we're getting down to the end. We are going to do some top 3s real quick. So just to kind of close things out, we're going to start with your top 3 YouTube videos.
Top 3,
it's tough. I know.
I've been a solid YouTube viewer now for almost 8 years. So if you're going to say top 3, that's a tough question to ask.
I thought it started out tough and maybe make it a little easier after that.
Okay. I'll Power Thirst. They're old, but they make me laugh every time.
I love the Power Thirst videos so much.
Now comes in new flavors like banana, fizz bitch, and gun. Those ones crack me up. If Google was a guy, those ones crack me up every single time. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're on college. I think they're on College Humor.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy they got to play Google, such good casting. If any of those guys are watching,
I have seen that. He's like sitting at a desk, and all these people are like, "Do this for me, do that for me," you know. And he's just like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah." My favorite one of those is when there's this woman all dressed in black, and she's Siri, and she's trying to converse with Google, and Google's just going, "That's not what she asked for. That's not what she asked for." It's just so good. It's just so good. But yeah, those ones. What else? Street Fighter: The Later Years.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's really good. I think there's about 8 episodes, and it's all based around the characters of Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, like 15 to 25 years after the games had reached their peak. And Guile, he serves hot dogs in New York, and Dulcim's a cab driver, and the Zangief is the janitor at a video game arcade. It's so good. Like these two guys, they're playing Street Fighter, and one guy says, "No, Zangief's a little bitch," and here's Zangief with a broom in the background crying. It's called Street Fighter: The Later Years. It's really good. I started watching it because it was funny, and then I started watching it because of the story. There's a bit of a mystery there, and I started watching it because of that. It's really good. So not 3 videos, but 3 series. Power Thirst, Street Fighter: The Later Years, and what was the other one I said? Oh yeah, If Google Was a Guy.
Yeah. Nice, good choices. Moving on, top 3 musical artists.
Queen, that's a no-brainer. I'm a huge fan of Queen. Freddie Mercury's vocal range is unmatched. He was a trained opera singer.
Unreal.
You can't match that. The music for the time was so advanced, and some of it still sounds new today.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
And I love how they held off using synthesizers for so long.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it wasn't until they got an American producer when they started using synthesizers. And it's just, all the songs are good. And Freddie Mercury as well. Like he said when he got AIDS, he just said to his bandmates, "Look, write the songs and I'll keep singing them. I'll sing until I die." And he did.
Yeah.
And they wrote the songs that they played. These days you've got 9 producers and 8 writers making a song that's crap.
Yeah.
And then back in the day, they wrote the songs themselves, and they're all fantastic. I mean, what was it? Under Pressure with David Bowie.
Yeah.
That song was just on the spot. Like they just happened to be recording in the same studio at the time, and they say, "Do you want to record a song together?" Yes. And it's totally improv. They recorded in separate studios. Freddie and David, they didn't want to know what the other guy was singing about to make the song sound weird.
Yeah.
But Freddie found out that David Bowie was secretly listening into his parts because he wanted the song to be good, and Freddie Mercury got the shits with him.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's rock and roll right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
The guitar riff for Under Pressure, just dun 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 dun. I can't remember the guy's name, but he thought of that while he was eating pizza after a recording session.
That's awesome.
And he quickly wrote it down. So they are the epitome of rock and roll, and I can't say enough about them. And this video is going to be way too long if I ramble, so I'll just cut it there. So Queen.
Okay.
And the Offspring. They kind of lost it a little bit at the turn of the century, but they're getting back to their roots now. Mm-hmm. Smash, I think, still remains the best-selling independent album of all time.
Really?
Yes. It's a really good album though. It's really, really good. The new stuff, they're starting to get back into their roots. It got a little bit scary there for a bit, but now they're coming back, and I still enjoy The Offspring. Number 3, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to say Knife Party, which is weird because I don't like dubstep. I don't.
I went through a phase, but like Knife Party is pretty good.
Well, the fact that they're Australian as well is a plus.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't normally like dubstep, but there's just something about Knife Party that it just sounds good to me. I mean, Skrillex, I hate every single thing he's come out with.
Yeah.
But Knife Party, I enjoy, and I can't say why, but I do. Equal to them, I would have to say Two Up. There's an Aussie rap duo. Very hard to find an album because they're all independent and not hugely available. But their songs, listen to the lyrics; they are so meaningful. There's one of them called "Why Do I Try So Hard?" or "Why Do Gangsters Try So Hard?" It's all about white homies chilling out in the hood, and it's really funny because it's true. So those would be my top 3.
Okay, nice. Top 3 movies.
Well, number 1 is going to be The Matrix. The first one, second one, yeah. Third one, yeah. I just like the trilogy as a whole. Second and third ones are great, but as a whole, I really do enjoy The Matrix. There's RoboCop and Back to the Future. I kind of want to put on the same plane. RoboCop 3 was pretty crap, but again, as a trilogy, I enjoyed it. Who doesn't enjoy Back to the Future anyway? And number 3. Number 3 is it's a Chinese film trilogy called Infernal Affairs, and it's the film trilogy that Martin Scorsese based The Departed from.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so good. It is so good. Martin Scorsese's version is not as good. You need to watch the original Hong Kong version. It's so good. It's so well written. I can't speak highly enough about that one either. I was gonna say Star Wars as well. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but that's kind of cliche, and a lot of people like Star Wars, so I left that out of the list because it was kind of a given. And I got to meet Peter Mayhew, who was Chewbacca recently, and that just I had a total nerdgasm. It was
pretty accurately captured in that picture of you. Your face was priceless. That was so funny.
That's the dopiest grin ever. It's just because I put my arm around him, which he was totally cool with, and
your face just didn't know what expression to make. So it was kind of gassy with a little bit of happiness thrown in there for good measure. Like you were about to poop yourself, but you were so happy about it.
I'm touching Chewbacca.
You just kind of mentally shut down.
My brain just couldn't compute the situation, and I got an autograph with him and a photo, and it cost $100 total, and it was just easily justified. And he was the nicest guy to speak to. He was really well spoken, and in that photo, he's sitting down on a normal chair. He's not sitting on a stool or anything.
He's as tall as you are standing.
Yeah, he's 7'4", and his hands are massive. It's like shaking hands with a bunch of bananas. His hands almost swallowed mine whole. I've got larger than average hands, and mine just disappeared. And he was just really cool guy. A really, really cool guy.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna throw TV shows in there for good measure. Top 3 TV shows.
What, of all time or just right now?
I'm gonna say of all time.
Yeah, that's a good one. At the moment, I'm into Daredevil.
Okay.
Agents of At the moment, this is just at the moment because these are the ones that come to my mind. Agents of Shield had a bit of a shaky start, picked it up in season 2. Season 3 is really good. Daredevil, so good, so much better than Ben Affleck's version. So that's really good. Number 3. What's number 3? It's cliche, but Game of Thrones has got me sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because it is really well written. But that's just right now. Of all time, I don't know if it's kind of a TV show because it was on TV, but Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Really? You're one of those people? I can't stand Evangelion. I cannot. Shinji's just a little bitch. Like, I hate him. I hate him so much.
He is a little bitch, and he's got the worst dad in the history of time, and he sends him off to live with this like mid-20s captain of whatever organization, and it's just, but I like it. I mean, we all have those characters we can't stand in the shows that we love, and it just so happens in this situation it's the main character. I mean, it's like true. Lord of the Rings. Who really watched that for Bilbo? I mean, Frodo. You don't. You watched it for Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli. But yeah, Evangelion. I really thoroughly enjoyed Evangelion.
I mean, if you want, we can just do animes as a separate category. You want to get into that?
Yeah, no, I'll just leave it at Evangelion.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a fan of most animes. They have to be really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, other TV shows. The IT Crowd, the English one, and then the same writer did another show called Black Books. Those would be 2 and 3 of all time. Simply because they're just so damn funny. If you've ever worked in IT, you need to watch IT Crowd. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's your all-time list right there?
Yes.
All right. And then finally, to close it out, top 3 video games.
I have not played video games for a very long time.
That's okay.
Top 3 video games that I have played in recent memory. My daughter's awake, by the way. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning. I'm just hungry.
Okay, I'll make you breakfast soon, okay?
Okay.
Top 3 video games. I like racing games. So one of my favorite games is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Oh, I love that game. I have it for GameCube.
I have it on GameCube.
Yeah.
That would be the version that came out with PlayStation 2, Hot Pursuit 2.
Yes.
I've got the one on PlayStation 3, and it was I think it was done by Criterion, who also make the Burnout series, and the gaming, the driving physics are really good.
I love the
Burnout series. It's so fun to play online as well, unless you're going up against anyone from France. I've noticed they race dirty.
Yep.
Other games, I also like old school first person shooters. So number 2 on the list would be the original Doom series. We're talking Doom, Doom 3, Doom 2. Those are fun.
Yeah.
It's just senseless violence, and who doesn't love that?
It's just like I said, overkill. There's something about overkill that's just great.
And the BFG, come on.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest video game weapon of all time. And I would have to say, it's very similar to Doom, but I enjoy it also would be Quake.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice. I would have to say my number one spot right now goes to Undertale. I don't know if you've heard of Undertale.
No.
Oh, it's this indie game by a guy named Toby Fox, and it's basically like Earthbound meets the old Pokemon games, but it's really cool because you can go through the game without killing anyone that you face. So there are different ways of playing the game that give you different endings, and it's so
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's super cool, and it's like $10 on Steam, and I highly recommend it.
Those multiple ending games, I enjoy them, but I hate them because I want to unlock each of the endings. So I find myself playing the game again and again and again just to unlock those multiple endings. Hello. My daughter's here. You want to be on YouTube, Jackie? Hold on, let me get this out the way. Come here. Watch out for the cables. Say hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
She's got a mouthful of banana. You gonna wave? You just woke up, didn't you? Good morning. Oh, I can't see. I can't see now. All right, yeah, now all the kids are getting up.
Oh boy, weekend's over here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my son's friends is having a sleepover and he's up now. Good morning, Alan. Oh, there's my son, William. Get out of it. All right. That's enough now, Jackie. Finish your banana. Hey, finish your banana.
Bananas are
What is it,
important.
William? Just keep it down low.
Are you on YouTube?
Yes, I am on YouTube right now. As in this very second.
As in right now, we're on YouTube. Like immediately. Well, there's a bit of a delay, but technically.
Yeah, live and uncut.
Yep.
So that was my daughter, everybody.
So if you wanted proof that he's actually a dad, there's your proof.
Yeah, that's proof right there. Genetically verifiable offspring.
I don't think we need to go that far. All right. Sorry.
No, I'll let you go, mate.
Okay, so I was just gonna kind of close it out. I think that's all the questions that I have for you. So yeah, I want to thank you so much for finding the time to make this work. Thank you for answering all my questions and for being so awesome. So yeah, I will end the stream here. I will see all of you guys who are watching later. There will be new stuff from me eventually once things calm down a bit. But for now, that's all I got. So see you later, guys.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Daddy.